5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We are a product of evolution, and our biology has to be respected.
And you think of how microbes interface with us.
If Darwin was alive today, he would have been a microbiome scientist.
There is still so much to understand.
Hello there, and welcome back to the second season of the Biomes podcast. This podcast is both a celebration of and an investigation into the trillions of microbes that live within you and around you, otherwise known as your microbiome. You are walking, talking jungles, ecosystems, and superorganisms that contain more microbial cells than human cells. In fact, you emit about 37 million bacteria an hour, which you pass on to anyone you interact with on a daily basis. And these microbes have an incredible influence on your body every single day by communicating with your own cells and organs, by changing the expression of your genes, by producing chemicals that are absorbed into your blood and passed around the body, by breaking down nutrients in your food, and so much more. My name is Dr. Ruairi Robertson, and I'm a scientist or researcher, whatever you want to call it. And I spend every day studying how microbes influence your health from belly to brain. And I've spent years studying it. I have a degree in human nutrition, I have a PhD in microbiology, and so I'm lucky to be right in the middle of the action of this exciting field of science. For those that are returning listeners, first of all, thank you for coming back to hear me ramble on. But for those who are new to the podcast, welcome to the most exciting place to hear the latest up-to-date research that is happening around the world into the human microbiome, straight from the mouths of the leading researchers who are doing this science every day. Last season, we had some amazing discussions about the gut-brain axis with Professor Ted Dinan, about stool banks and fecal transplants with Dr. Majdi Osman, about probiotics with Professor Gregor Reed, and about evolutionary microbiomes and microbiome vaults with Professor Maria Gloria Dominguez Bello, and many other fascinating conversations about the microbial jungles within you. This season, however, we're pushing beyond the boundaries of what we already know about human microbiomes, and we'll be chatting to an even more exciting list of scientists who really are the top researchers in their field. Without giving away who the guests are, I'll give you a little taster of what is to come over the next few weeks of this new season. The first episode will explore all of the microbes surrounding us in our own personal microbial clouds, in our homes, in our hospitals, and even up in space, with one of the most exciting researchers in the area. We discuss how humans transfer microbes to each other, what this means for human health, and how humans interact with the microbes in our surrounding environments. Then, following this, we'll move on to the microbiome of fermented foods. So kombucha, kimchi, kefir, all of these foods have suddenly started popping up on our supermarket shelves all over the world. But what is the science behind them? I chat with one of the world's leading experts on fermented foods. We discuss their history, how they differ around the world, what evidence they actually have for health benefits, and whether we should have a recommended daily intake of microbes. Then, the following week, I speak with a world-leading expert in the role of the gut microbiome in colorectal cancer. Some exciting evidence has identified particular bacteria in the gut which appear to protect against colorectal cancer, and others which interestingly appear to originate in the mouth but travel to the gut and may cause changes in gut cells to contribute to colon cancer. We discuss these exciting links between our gut microbes and cancer risk and the future potential for gut microbiota targeted therapies, including fecal transplants and other things to help with cancer treatment. Then, in the second last episode of the series, we move beyond bacteria, which seem to get all of the attention in the microbiome field, and instead investigate fungi in the gut. I speak with a leading scientist who studies the understudied fungi of the gut and how they interact with the early life immune system in babies to either prevent or contribute to the risk of developing asthma. And then in the final episode, I chat with one of the pioneers of microbiome research and one of the leading scientists in the field about, well, a little bit about everything to do with the gut microbiome. We discuss how the gut microbiome may influence risk of developing infections, which could be very relevant to the COVID pandemic, and talk about what we need to be doing in the future to maintain our microbes and prevent them from becoming extinct. So a really exciting lineup of people that I'll be chatting to so that you can get an earful of microbes for the next 5 weeks from all of the best experts around the world, which you usually mightn't hear from as a layperson. And this season of the Biomes podcast is sponsored by a brilliant microbiome company in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada, where I lived up until last year. And the company is called Microbiome Insights. Microbiome Insights provide end-to-end microbiome sequencing and bioinformatics analysis, and their range of services enables industry and academic researchers to include microbiome analysis in studies across human, animal, agricultural, and environmental applications. So whether you're planning a study or applying for a grant or you're ready to ship samples for sequencing, the people at Microbiome Insights can help. And they are kindly offering free study consultations for all Biomes listeners. So to avail of this, go to microbiomeinsights.com and tell them Ruairi sent you. So thanks again for tuning in to the Biomes podcast. If you enjoyed getting a dose full of microbiome knowledge, it'd be great if you could rate the podcast on Apple or whatever platform you're listening to and leave a review saying how great or how terrible it is and share with your friends or family who might be interested. Thanks very much, and I hope you enjoy the series.